Alright guys, I want to get this video up and talk about home defense for a little bit. In thinking about what I was going to say in this video, this is a very hard video to make. And there are so many variables to home defense. Like, do you live alone? Are you married? Do you have kids? Are there other people living in the house? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a regular home? Are the neighbors close by? There's just so many different things that come into play. It would be much easier to tell people, like on a one-on-one basis, the best things to use for their home defense. This is just going to kind of be a broad video across the board. Okay? And I'm going to give you some pointers, and I'm going to talk about some definite don'ts in home defense. Things that I've seen, things that I've heard in life or on YouTube or heard other people say, things that you should not do when it comes to home defense, and what really happens in a home defense encounter as far as, well, I'll get into that in a little bit. First of all, I've seen people talk about this gun. This is a Desert Eagle 50 caliber. And I've seen people say that, oh, this is a great home defense weapon. This is not a good home defense weapon. Will it kill someone? Yes, easily. Easily. It'll kill them and the bullet will keep on going. This is not a good home defense weapon. And there are several reasons that I'm going to explain to you why it is not. Number one, if you have a wife, or you have a wife and children or other people in the home, and someone breaks into your home, first of all, I don't know if any of you have any experience, but if you shoot a gun indoors, in a room, the sound is almost double of what it is outside. It's kind of like this. This is an example I'll give you. If you go outside and you pick up your garden hose, your water hose, and you grab the nozzle and you pull the trigger on the hose, the little lever, and you spray the water across the lawn, take that water hose inside the house, stand about 4 or 5 feet from a wall, and spray the wall full blast. What's going to happen? The water is going to come back, and you're going to end up getting just as wet as the wall, right? Well, that's exactly what happens with sound waves when you fire a gun indoors in an enclosure that's all closed in. Very loud. Even with a 9 millimeter will ring your head indoors, being shot inside of an enclosed room. Okay, second, when someone breaks into your home, you are going to be under the most stress that you've ever been in your life. More than likely, it's going to be more stress than anything you've ever encountered in your whole life. Number one, somebody's inside your home, your family's there, your adrenaline's going, you're thinking that they're trying to kill you and your family. At the same time, you're thinking about how you're going to get them. It's a tremendous amount of stress. Now, do you really want to be walking down your hallways and into rooms firing off a 50 cal, 50 AE that'll punch through your drywall and your walls and doors like paper? Is this really what you want to go to? Let alone your head will be ringing. You won't be able to call 911 for several minutes afterwards. And trust me, everything I'm telling you is a fact. This isn't something I'm making up, and this isn't something that just pops into my head. Everything I'm telling you is a fact. You're going to be under the most stress you've ever been in. This is not what you want to walk around firing in your home. Would you be comfortable with taking your kids and your wife, taking them to a range, and letting them play and sit off to the side while people are shooting back here down the range? Now that's a controlled environment. Well, no, nobody would do that, right? So what would make you think that you're going to take a 50 AE, which is pretty much as powerful as a rifle, right next to it? This is about as close as you can get to a rifle with a handgun. So you're going to walk down your hallways with people sleeping or in rooms 10 feet off to the side, and you're going to go firing off 50 AE through your home? I don't think so. That's not a good call at all. Some people have a Hollywood mindset. They think they need something like this if somebody breaks in their home. Some of these same guys will have this for home protection, and then when they go out and they conceal carry a gun, they'll carry a little Ruger LCP 380. Now you're way more likely to have an encounter outside of the home than you are in your home. So it makes no sense to me. Why do you think you need this inside the home? Someone coming in your home is going to be the same as if they were on the street. It's not going to take this to penetrate through them. Number two, if you are at the back of your house and you shoot this is going to go right through your back wall and just keep on going. Is there anything safe to stop the round once it goes through the wall of your home? Now, if you're in a brick home, that's a different story. But you got to think about things like that. You're going to be so disoriented if you fire this thing in your home. It's going to take a while for you to get your bearings and call. You're going to have a hard time calling 911 even when you use a 9mm for a couple of minutes. This is a Glock 17. And yes, all guns are cleared, have been cleared. So, this is a good home defense weapon. Get you some good hollow points like some Corbon, get some Hornady, critical defense, any good quality brand name hollow points that expand well in tests, and this would be a good home defense gun. Okay, another thing that's really good for home defense that I always recommend to people, but it's not for every situation. There's always pros and cons to everything that you would use for home defense. That is the good old 12 gauge shotgun. This is just a Remington 870 pump, and I always advocate having a pistol grip on the shotgun. Now, the reason you want a pistol grip is because when you take this gun at the low and you're walking, okay, let's just say it's at my waist right now and I'm standing up. Oh, well, here, I'll go ahead and do it. Right here. You still have full control of the shotgun. If you need to walk and you don't want this gun shouldered all the way up, and you need to have more movement with your torso, which is going to be better for you, you want to have a pistol grip, something you can anchor your hand onto. You could still fire this gun and have full, complete control. If it didn't have a pistol grip on it, you'd have a little bit harder time trying to handle this gun down at low levels, like right around the waist height. So, I'm not saying just a pistol grip, which you could have, but a pistol grip and a stock is a pretty ideal thing, because you can drop the gun down and walk around and your upper torso will be free. Okay? Now for shotguns, people ask me, well, should I load birdshot? No, absolutely not. I go with the standard, the old school law enforcement loading, 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck. That's what I load my shotguns up with. That's great home defense. It's not going to travel real far when it hits walls and things. It's pretty safe for the family, but it is going to stop an attacker quickly. Now, as with anything, you are going to be disoriented after you fire this off in the home, but there's really no way to get over that. You're not going to be able to put on hearing protection, eye protection, the whole 9 yards, because if you have on hearing protection, that would be very dangerous, especially if there's other people in the home. To walk around with hearing protection on, you need all of your senses. If you think something's going on or someone's in your home, you need all of your senses up until the time that if you have to, unfortunately, pull the trigger on this, you are going to have all your senses intact. And then once you pull the trigger on this, your senses aren't going to be intact for a little bit. The blast, the noise, everything, it's going to be a little bit of mass confusion for a little bit for you there. So it's just some things to keep in mind. I normally advocate, when you're talking about handguns, anything 357 Magnum or under. I don't feel that you need anything over 357 Magnum in the home for protection. Like I said, it can be a bit too much. Drywall is not that sturdy of a material. You could take your joint or your knuckle right there and you could punch holes right in drywall. It's not going to do a lot for stopping around. Everybody has their own opinion though. This is mine. Slugs, definitely not. No slugs in the shotgun. People ask me about different sizes of buckshot. That's up to you. I have not experimented with, the smaller sizes of buckshot. Some people swear by it. I just go with the old school 2 3/4 double-aught buck myself. Now, like I said though, you always want a good hollow point, because your hollow point's always going to start to flatten out, open up, and lose a lot of velocity when it hits something, and that's what you want. Because if you miss, you hit a wall, you hit the person, whatever, the bullet is going to greatly decrease its velocity and its energy, and it's not going to have much power behind it once it hits something that makes your family safer, neighbors, and things like that. A lot of people watch things like Charles Bronson and Death Wish, and they try to mimic these things in real life, and that's not the way to go about defense and home protection, because life is not like the movies. Most of these movie producers, when they do these movies, they know almost nothing about guns. They make these movies and they show somebody get shot with a shotgun, and you see the guy get lifted off of his feet and blown backwards through a window. That's not going to happen. And there's also another myth that says that you don't have to aim with a shotgun. That's a complete myth. You do have to aim with a shotgun. I plan on, here in the near future, I'm going to go out and I'm going to set up targets, just like paper targets. And I am going to start at 5 feet away, and then I'm going to go 10, 15, and 20 feet to replicate being inside of a home. I'm going to show you the pattern that double-aught buck makes on paper from 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet away. This will show you in your home what kind of pattern, what I'm talking about is how far the spread is going to be. Okay? The further back you get, the more it's going to open up. But it does not open to the point to where you can say, don't just aim. You can just have the gun in the direction of the hallway and shoot. That's not true. And I will, like I said, I'll prove that to you in an upcoming video here soon. But alright guys, that's just some of my thoughts. There's so many different things about home defense that you can get into. You could go on for days, literally talking about home defense and different scenarios and things. I recommend 357 Magnum and down, good quality hollow points, definitely. Shotgun, 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck shells, and I think you'll be fine. 9mm, fine. Get yourself some good hollow points, and just be careful in the home. If you've got children especially, and you've got a family in that home, just keep in mind that during the most stress that you'll ever be in your entire life, that there is lives there around you when you're wielding a gun through the house. Okay? Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope maybe this helped shed some light on some home defense. Alright guys, until next time, this is H4T, and I'm out.